Get ready to uncover one of the most controversial secrets in history. The truth about the origin of the universe that challenges everything you've ever heard. Forget modern science for a moment. What if the creation of the cosmos began with an epic battle between gods and monsters? In just a few minutes, you'll understand why the ancient Babylonian myth might be the key to unlocking one of the greatest mysteries of our own world. Stay with us and discover the legend that changed everything. In a time when the universe was nothing but a vast, formless ocean, without beginning or end. This is the initial setting of the Babylonian creation legend, one of the oldest and most influential stories about the origin of the universe that still holds significant influence today. The Babylonians, inhabitants of ancient Mesopotamia, were among the first civilizations to develop a rich set of myths and legends. Their stories were not just tales for entertainment, but served as explanations for the mysteries of existence. Babylonian mythology, in particular, played a crucial role in understanding the world, natural forces, and the origins of humanity. Among these stories, the Enuma Elish, the epic of creation, holds a prominent place. In this epic, we are introduced to the idea that before creation, there was only primordial chaos. This chaos was not empty, but inhabited by primordial forces that existed since time immemorial. Here, we begin to understand the Babylonian conception of the universe. A place where order must be conquered from chaos, a recurring theme in the mythologies of various cultures. The Babylonians believed that the cosmos began with the interaction of two primordial entities, Apsu and Tiamat. Apsu, representing fresh waters, and Tiamat, symbolizing salt waters, formed the basis of this original chaos. Together, they personified the raw and unshaped potential of creation. This concept of a chaotic beginning preceding order is a theme that resonates through the ages, found in many cultures around the world. As we advance in the story of this myth, we will see how the dynamics between Apsu and Tiamat trigger events that lead to the formation of the universe as we know it. This myth is not just an ancient story. It offers a profound insight into how the ancient Babylonians saw their place in the cosmos and the constant struggle between order and chaos. Before the emergence of the universe as we know it, there was only primordial chaos, a vast expanse of intertwined waters. Within this mysterious scenario lived two primordial forces, Apsu and Tiamat. Apsu, the god of fresh waters, represented the source of life, calm and pure waters. He was a stable force, yet potentially powerful, capable of giving rise to life, but also causing destruction if disturbed. Tiamat, on the other hand, was the goddess of salt waters, a symbol of unexplored depths and untamed force. She represented chaos, turbulence, and the unpredictability of the seas. These two entities coexisted in a tense balance, where chaos and order had not yet been defined. From the union of these forces emerged the first gods, children of Apsu and Tiamat, who began to shape the destiny of the cosmos. Among the first children born from this chaos were gods like Ea, or Enki, the god of wisdom and fresh water, and Anu, the god of the sky. These young gods, curious and full of energy, began to create disturbances in the primordial silence, triggering events that would shake the peace of Apsu and Tiamat. However, Apsu's tranquility was disturbed by the tumultuous behavior of his descendants. The noise and movements of the young gods began to irritate him, disturbing his serenity. Apsu, desiring to restore the original calm, began to plan a way to silence his children forever. Tiamat, on the other hand, had a different vision. Although she was also an entity of chaos, she felt a maternal connection with her children and opposed Apsu's plan. This disagreement planted the seed of a conflict that would define the destiny of the universe. Thus, in this scenario of turbulent waters and primordial forces, the stage was set for a great battle between the powers of chaos and order. Apsu and Tiamat, the fresh and salt waters, were more than mere personifications of natural elements. They represented the opposing forces that would fight for control of the cosmos. In the deep silence of primordial chaos, the young gods, children of Apsu and Tiamat, began to bring changes to the universe. Unlike their parents, who symbolized the raw forces of nature, these new gods were dynamic and curious, exploring their capabilities and expanding their limits. Their activities, however, did not go unnoticed. Apsu, who desired to maintain the peace and serenity of the fresh waters, began to resent the constant noise and agitation caused by his children. He longed for a return to the original state of silence and tranquility. Each day, the movements and celebrations of the young gods became more disturbing to Apsu, until he decided he needed to make a drastic decision. With a heavy heart, Apsu resolved to eliminate the young gods to restore primordial calm. However, he knew this plan would not be easily accepted, especially by Tiamat, his wife. Tiamat, despite being a force of chaos, had a protective instinct towards her children and did not share Apsu's desire to destroy them. When Apsu revealed his plan to Tiamat, she was horrified. The idea of exterminating her own children was unthinkable to her. Tiamat then decided to warn the young gods about their father's sinister plan, giving them a chance to defend themselves. Among the young gods, Ea, or Enki, known for his wisdom and cunning, took the lead. He knew that to protect himself and his siblings, he needed to act quickly and intelligently. Using his magical powers, Ea cast a powerful spell over Apsu, putting him into a deep sleep. Thus, Ea managed not only to save the young gods, but also to eliminate the immediate threat posed by Apsu, his father. Ea's victory, however, had consequences. Apsu's death triggered uncontrollable fury in Tiamat. She felt betrayed and devastated by the loss of her husband. Her sadness and anger turned into a storm of vengeance. Determined to avenge Apsu's death, Tiamat began to gather a legion of monsters and chaotic creatures to face the young gods. This event marked the beginning of a titanic conflict, a war between the forces of chaos, led by Tiamat, and the young gods, who fought for survival and order. The stage was set for an epic battle that would determine the destiny of the cosmos. As Tiamat prepared for war, the young gods sought a strong leader capable of facing the fury of the primordial mother. It was then that Marduk, one of the most powerful and wise among the gods, emerged, offering hope and leadership to his siblings. As the young gods prepared for the imminent war against Tiamat and her chaotic forces, there was a growing sense of urgency and fear. Who could lead them against Tiamat's fury? It was at this moment of crisis that Marduk, a god of incredible power and wisdom, emerged as the central figure capable of facing chaos. Marduk, son of Ea, was known not only for his strength, but also for his intelligence and magical abilities. He was a tall and imposing god with 4 eyes and 4 ears that granted him superior vision and hearing. These attributes symbolized his ability to perceive everything that happened around him, both in the sky and on earth. The young gods, recognizing Marduk's greatness, gathered and offered him command in the fight against Tiamat. However, Marduk made a demand before accepting the leadership. He wanted that, if he won the battle, he would be recognized as the supreme chief of the gods and the universe. Desperate and with no other option, the young gods agreed to Marduk's conditions, placing their hopes in the hero's abilities. With Marduk's leadership secured, he began to prepare for the confrontation. His first action was to forge powerful weapons capable of facing Tiamat's chaotic forces. He created a bow, a club, and a magic net to capture the goddess of chaos. In addition, Marduk received the winds of the four quadrants, which he could use as allies in battle. Meanwhile, Tiamat, consumed by anger and pain over Apsu's loss, continued to gather her army of monsters led by Kingu, who was taken as Tiamat's new husband. Among her ranks were dragons, serpents, and other terrible creatures that personified chaos and destruction. Tiamat herself transformed into a colossal dragon, symbolizing the raw and untamed power of primordial chaos. The confrontation between Marduk and Tiamat would not be just a physical battle, but also a fight between order and chaos, a dispute to determine the future of the cosmos. Marduk knew he would face a formidable adversary, whose fury knew no bounds. However, he also knew that victory was essential to establish order in the universe and ensure the survival of the young gods. Prepared with his weapons, and with the determination of the young gods by his side, Marduk advanced to face Tiamat. The fate of the cosmos was at stake, and the battle that would follow would define the structure of the universe forever. With Marduk's leadership established and his weapons forged, the final confrontation between order and chaos was about to begin. The gods gathered, anxious and fearful, while Marduk prepared to face Tiamat, the great mother of chaos, who had now transformed into a monstrous dragon. The battle began with Marduk invoking the winds of the four quadrants. These winds formed a barrier around Tiamat, imprisoning her and preventing her from escaping. Tiamat roared in fury, her huge jaws opening to swallow Marduk. However, Marduk was prepared. He cast his magic net, entangling Tiamat and limiting her movements. The force of chaos would not surrender easily. Tiamat fought fiercely, her screams echoing through the cosmos and sending waves of terror through the hearts of the young gods who watched. With a gesture of pure determination, Marduk took his bow and shot powerful arrows, each one hitting Tiamat's colossal body with lethal precision. But it was not just physical strength that decided this battle. Marduk, using his intelligence, manipulated the winds to inflate Tiamat's body, forcing her to open her mouth even wider. At that crucial moment, he launched his club, penetrating deep into the goddess of chaos's belly, striking her heart. With a final roar of pain and defeat, Tiamat was destroyed. Marduk's victory was not just over a physical enemy, but an affirmation of order over chaos. With Tiamat defeated, her body became the foundation for the creation of the universe. With Tiamat's defeat, Marduk not only brought order to primordial chaos, but also initiated the creation of the universe as we know it. From Tiamat's body, Marduk began to shape the cosmos, transforming his victory into a foundation for life. Marduk divided Tiamat's body into two parts. The upper part became the sky, a vast firmament that stretched over the earth. He scattered the stars across the sky, positioning them as guardians and guides, and created the constellations, each with its own meaning and purpose. The lower part of Tiamat's body formed the earth, a solid domain where life could flourish. To ensure the fertility and continuity of life, Marduk turned Tiamat's tears into the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, vital sources of water that crossed the land and sustained civilization. These rivers were not just sources of water, but symbols of renewal and sustenance, reflecting the very essence of life. With the sky and earth formed, Marduk established the mountains, carved the valleys, and shaped the seas. He planted the seeds of forests and created animals to populate the land. Each element of the world was carefully organized to create a harmonious balance, a representation of the order that Marduk had imposed over chaos. However, Marduk was not content with just the creation of the physical world. He wanted to create beings who could understand and appreciate his work, beings who could worship the gods and maintain the established order. It was then that he turned his attention to the creation of humanity. For this, Marduk needed the blood of Kingu, Tiamat's current husband and leader of the chaotic monsters. Kingu had been captured after Tiamat's defeat, and his blood possessed a divine essence. Using this blood, Marduk molded the first human beings. They were created to serve the gods, but also to live in harmony with the cosmic order that Marduk had established. Thus, humanity was born with a dual mission: to work for the gods and preserve order in the world. This purpose reflected the Babylonians' belief that human beings had a sacred role to play, a role that required both respect for nature and devotion to the gods. The creation of the world and humanity, from chaos and divine blood, highlights the complex relationship between gods and men in Babylonian mythology. This story is not just about the origin of the cosmos, but also about the place of human beings in it, a place of responsibility and reverence. With the universe established and humanity created, Marduk had fulfilled his role as hero and creator. His victory over Tiamat was not just a physical achievement, but a transformation of chaos into order, of raw potential into organized reality. The Babylonian creation myth, with its stories of gods, chaos, and order, is not just an ancient legend, but a narrative that has left a profound mark on the cultures and beliefs that followed. The Enuma Elish, the epic of creation, influenced how many civilizations understood the cosmos and the role of human beings in the universe. One reason for the enduring influence of this myth is its rich symbolism and universal themes. The struggle between order and chaos, personified in the battle between Marduk and Tiamat, is a theme that resonates through the ages. In many cultures, we find similar stories where heroes or gods face destructive forces to establish order. This basic narrative repeats in mythologies around the world, reflecting a shared understanding of the duality between chaos and order in nature and society. Furthermore, the Babylonian creation myth directly influenced other religious and mythological traditions. For example, many scholars believe that the Enuma Elish had a significant impact on the writing of creation narratives found in the Hebrew Bible. The similarities between the separation of waters in the Enuma Elish and the creation of the firmament in the Book of Genesis suggest a sharing of ideas and themes between these ancient cultures. The story of Marduk and Tiamat also inspired art and literature throughout the centuries. Representations of Marduk as a powerful and wise hero facing a monstrous dragon can be seen in various forms of art, from ancient reliefs to modern paintings. This iconography continues to capture people's imagination, symbolizing the eternal struggle between good and evil, order and chaos. Besides its cultural and artistic influence, the Babylonian creation myth also offers a deep insight into the beliefs and values of the Babylonians themselves. The emphasis on order, hierarchy, and the sacred role of human beings as maintainers of creation reflects this civilization's worldview. For the Babylonians, the creation of the cosmos was not just a past event, but an ongoing process where humanity played a crucial role in maintaining balance and harmony. This myth also highlights the importance of leadership and wisdom. Marduk, with his exceptional qualities, is an example of how a strong and just leader can bring order to chaos. This idea resonates to this day, where effective leadership is seen as essential for the well-being and progress of society. The Enuma Elish reminds us of the power of ancient stories and mythology to shape our beliefs and values. These stories are not just reflections of a distant past, but continue to influence how we understand the world and our place in it. They connect us with our ancestors and offer timeless lessons about the nature of existence, the struggle for order, and the importance of the human role in the cosmos. The story of Marduk and Tiamat is more than a tale of gods and monsters. It is a powerful narrative about the eternal quest for meaning and order in the vast and mysterious universe. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe and take the opportunity to watch the video currently on the screen.